All right, so this looks complicated. It's not. I'm going to make it simple, okay? I know, stay with me for a minute. Between these dotted lines, guys, is what we call the window of tolerance. All right, that's a big fancy term for I'm in control of my emotions and I'm in control of my behavior. Okay, that's what the window of tolerance is. So a good example of that is I'm hanging out and I'm trying to drive through one of those roundabouts in Jeff City, and you already know. Somebody thinks they need to T-bone me. That yield means yield, okay? Got to yield, people. They almost hit me. I'm one of those guys that gets a little animated in the car. I get mad, sometimes say a bad word, rabble, 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 shake my fist, right? So I'm kind of up here near the top of my dotted line, but I'm not out of it. I'm still in control. Out of control is getting out of your car trying to fight a guy. Don't do that, okay? Stay in your car. Cooper, stay in your car, all right? And then, as your day goes on, I have a 3-year-old son now. He's not a big fan of sleeping. The kid's 3. I don't think we've gotten 8 hours straight yet. I mean, he's up, Mom, hey, Dad, let's play dinos, let's wrestle. I'm like, dude, it's 4 a.m. And so I'm down here this morning, but you see I'm still not down below the dotted line. I just got to get up and drink some coffee, and my day goes on. And so that's where we hope we're at, right? We hope we stay within the dotted lines, we're in control of our behaviors, we're in control of our actions throughout the day. Life's pretty good. What happens when we experience traumatic events, one or multiple, is we have a tendency to get stuck on and stuck off. We have a hard time staying in that window of tolerance. We have a hard time being in control of our emotions and ultimately being in control of our behaviors. Okay? And so this is kind of what stuck on looks like for your students. Anxiety, panic, hyperactivity, exaggerated startle, they can't relax, they're restless, they're hypervigilant. The emotional flooding, that's a big fancy term for my emotions come flying out of me and I can't control them, whether it's sadness or anger, right? Sleeplessness. So that's what that stuck on looks like. What do we diagnose a lot of those kids in the mental health world? And I was one of them. I told you I was stamping everybody. What do you think is the most common stamp I used to give out? ADHD, right? That's what we take these kids that are stuck on. We say ADHD. Boom, have some stimulants. All right, what happens if you're stuck on for 8 straight days? You're hypervigilant. What's going to happen to your energy level? You're crashing. I don't care who you are. Boom, now we're stuck off. Now we got that flat affect, that lethargy, that deadness, that tiredness, that kind of checked out face, kind of not there, okay? What diagnosis do we like to give those folks? Depression, major depressive disorder is the fancy version of that, okay? What happens if you're stuck on, then you're stuck off, then you're stuck on, then you're stuck off, and you cycle back and forth? Bipolar disorder, right? When I was a social worker, I had 30 kids on my caseload at a time. All 30 were diagnosed bipolar. Every single kid I worked with for 5 years was diagnosed bipolar, okay? And what I'm trying to tell you guys, there's no way. It's not true. It's not accurate. What's really going on is every single kid I worked with when I was a social worker had a severe trauma history. And this is how the brain is designed to operate when you've experienced trauma. This is how it's supposed to respond. We want the brain to be hypervigilant because that keeps us safe. And when we need to shut down every once in a while because we're flat out exhausted from being that high level of alert for a long period of time. Okay? That's a normal response. If I climb up that window up there where they're doing the video and I fall because I'm being a dum-dum out that window and I break my leg, do they diagnose me broken leg disorder? No, they say, hey, you broke your leg because you fell. That's how things work. Well, guys, it's the same thing here. That's why I'm not saying depression is not real. I'm not saying bipolar disorder is not real. ADHD is not real. All those things are real. What I'm telling you is they're way, way overdiagnosed, and what's way underdiagnosed is PTSD. Because we saw the studies before. 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4 of our girls are sexually abused. Our boys aren't much better. 1 out of 4 homes has domestic violence going on. Trauma is a huge, huge problem in our society. That's the foundation of the majority of the issues you're seeing in your school. And way too often in the mental health world, we're misdiagnosing that stuff. Because the problem is, guys, when you give a kid that's hypervigilant a stimulant, it doesn't help. Or, when we take a kid that's has PTSD and we give them depression meds, it doesn't help. We actually got to get to the treatments for the actual cause of their problems.